Pop it, demon!
In this video, I'm going to answer the age-old question of what's the difference between low tension extending and high tension extending. This is one of the most popular questions in the PE space, especially for a lot of newbies who often ask, why do some of the devices say I have to use it for 6 hours? Yet some of the other devices, especially the newer devices, say I can only use it for 1 hour a day and still gain.
Like, what's the deal with that?
So I'm going to go ahead and look at some medical studies, go through the data, and we're going to use science.
Yes, science!
To actually answer this question. It's going to be super informative, but concise at the same time. And if you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I also offer coaching through Patreon. So hit me up if you want one-on-one coaching. And also don't forget to pick up your Smart Track, which is the best pump in the market right now. I use this bad boy every single day. And use the discount code in the description to get 10% off. And that's on top of any sort of existing offers that they're running on their website. So I'm going to go ahead and link the video where I review the Smart Track pump. It's going to be a lot better than any of that bathmate crap. So go ahead and check it out. It really helps out the channel as well if you use that coupon code. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to keep this video short and concise. Okay, and for that, I'm going to go ahead and use ChatGPT to break down two of the most important studies that we have in PE. Now, granted, this was used in the context of Peyronie's, but you know that Peyronie's is essentially scar tissue, and scar tissue is a lot tougher to extend, to change, less malleable than regular tissue. So their results should be comparable to your normal tissue. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and look at both the Phallosan Forte study, which is one of those popular devices that essentially you wear a strap, you wear it on your leg. You can also wear like a strap on your shoulders or whatever, but yeah, I recommend the leg if you're going to use that. It's typically known as an all-day stretcher as well. So that's the category, that's the class of devices that the Phallosan Forte is essentially. So if you hear something like an all-day stretcher, that's what that is. It's something that you attach to your leg and it provides low tension. So that's what the Phallosan Forte is. Then there's the RestoreX, which is sort of a kind of newer, it's been out for a while now. Device that's more high tension. Basically, that's basically an extender. So these are the two types of devices that have clinical data. And today we're going to essentially look at that data and compare it side by side. So for that, I use ChatGPT. And I'm not going to bore you through all the different prompts that I use. I'm going to basically just keep it nice and concise. So I told her, okay, compare the Phallosan Forte study versus the RestoreX study. And you're going to display the average stretch-flaccid gains. And the reason I did this is because unfortunately the RestoreX did not track erect gains. So we're going to compare just stretch-flaccid gains. Now, if you know this, stretch-flaccid gains are very, very close to erect. And this is like a known scientific fact. But we are essentially going to compare the two. So, but keep that in the back of your mind. Then the time usage. So we're going to see how long each device was used. And then more importantly, we're going to look at the pounds of tension that were used. It's going to basically break down a low tension all day stretcher versus a high tension extender, which is the RestoreX. We're going to assume that the RestoreX provides 6 pounds of tension. Now I'm going to link the video of where I did this, but basically I used a scale to actually measure the RestoreX and how many pounds of tension the RestoreX provides, because it doesn't tell you. So I measured it. And also I double checked the data with other people. But there's a thing called the treatment zone, and just check out that video if you want more details on it. But essentially, the RestoreX provides, once you measure the tension, provides 6 pounds of tension, about 6 to 7 pounds of tension max. And that's what they call the treatment zone. It could provide more than that, but what they actually recommend is within that treatment zone is the 6 to 7 pounds. Okay. Unfortunately, that data is not available anywhere on the internet. So I told ChatGPT to essentially assume that because that's what I measured. Okay. And then I said for the Phallosan Forte study, I want you to break down how many pounds of tension each zone provides. So if you look at the Phallosan Forte, it has different zones, and each zone provides different amounts of tension. There's like the green zone, there's the yellow zone, and then there's the red zone. And I told it to break down what zones were used in the study. Then here's the side-by-side of the Phallosan RestoreX. And you can plug this in and ask way more questions if you want this prompt. So essentially for the Phallosan Forte, which is a low tension all-day stretcher, you have to wear that for 6 hours a day. This is why for those older devices, you have to wear it for way longer. Okay, the average gain was around 1.5 centimeters, right? So it wasn't like a whole lot, right? Like 1.5 centimeters, at least compared to something like the RestoreX. So even with that, the gains were modest. Now, other studies such as the Pennymaster Pro, which I don't look at, I'm not going to dive into because that would bloat the video. gain a little bit more. So it's going to be like around 1.5 to 2 centimeters if you look at both studies. But in any case, this is why you have to wear it for so many hours a day, 6 hours. And you would only gain around like 1.5 to 2 centimeters in 6 months, which is, it's decent. Like, hey, it's really nothing to scoff at. Like, that's, you know, that's a little bit, that's pretty close to an inch. Yeah, so the Phallosan Forte uses this traffic light extension system. So the green zone is basically about 2.4 pounds. The yellow zone is about 2.4 to 4.4 pounds. And then the red zone, which is about 4.4 to 6.6 pounds. So in the study, right, the user guide, the study user says to stay in the green to the low yellow zone. That's super important, because if we look at the study, that means that the participants stayed within, like, you know, about 2 pounds. And if you say low yellow, so it didn't go up to as high as 4 pounds. So it would be like 2 to about 3 pounds, 3.5 pounds. Thus, if you're categorizing a low tension extender, such as an ADS, when we're talking about low tension, we're talking about 2 to 3 pounds per the data, per the study. So there you go. Answer. Question has been answered. That's what a low tension extender. No more ambiguities. Now you know that if you are using a low tension extender, you must provide about 2 to 3 pounds, and you must wear that for 6 hours a day, every single day. Now we're going to look at a high tension extender. So that's the RestoreX. And again, we're assuming the 6 pounds. We're not really assuming, like, we already measured this, right? We used a scale to measure this. Check out that video where I actually do that. And it has to be worn. So this is a little off because it's 30 minutes a day, but this actually, you have to do that in 2 to 3 sessions a day. Yeah, ChatGPT kind of messed up here. So you actually have to do this 60 to 90 minutes a day if you look at the study. Yeah, point deducted for ChatGPT, but look at the study. It's actually 60 to 90 minutes a day. Okay, the average gains of a stretch-flaccid penile length was 2.3 centimeter. So actually higher, right, than the low tension device. So the low tension device, which has to be worn longer, versus the high tension device, who has to be worn less. And really, it's 60 minutes. It should say 60 minutes here. Okay. Of course, we already measured it. That's 6 pounds. Thus, we can conclude that something that is low tension, it is 2 to 3.5, maybe 4 pounds. That's low tension. And anything that's high tension, it's going to be 6 pounds and more. But we went ahead and reran the prompt. But this time I asked ChatGPT, like, didn't the RestoreX say to use 60 to 90 minutes a day in the study? And then it says, yes, you're correct. You have to be wary of when using AI. And this is why I urge people to look at the studies. I've looked at the studies directly, so I didn't just use ChatGPT. I'm just using this to sort of summarize things much easier. But yeah, the RestoreX protocol instructs participants to wear the device for 60 to 90 minutes a day, usually broken into 1 to 3 sessions of 30 minutes a day. Yeah, so in the protocol, it's actually 60 to 90 minutes a day. Just kind of keep that in mind. Yeah, so we're ready. So here's the revised comparison. RestoreX with 60 to 90 minutes a day, okay, which is split into 1 to 3 sessions, and it provides the reference here. So 60 to 90 minutes a day, okay? And yeah, so that's the average of gait 2.0 to 2.3 centimeters with the tension of being of 6 pounds. So there you go. So that answers the HO question of what is the difference between low tension extending and high tension extending. How many pounds is low tension, and why do the older devices say you must wear them for 6 hours a day versus the newer devices that say you can get away with 1 hour to an hour and a half every single day. And there you go. Short and concise, using data, using science, using AI to help us actually look at the data and summarize the data for us. But you actually should look at the studies directly. But I know a lot of you guys are not going to do that, and I did that for you. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you like me doing this for you. So there you go. No more ambiguity. No more like, oh, just do low tension extending, do high tension extending. Now you know the actual numbers. And this is why it's super important to get an extender with a built-in scale. So I recommend something like the Hog extender, the Best extender, stuff like that. That's like high quality and has a built-in scale. Okay. And the same for pumping. And, check out my pumping guide. So there you go. If you want more coaching, hit up my Patreon. Again, make sure you get your Smart Track pump, the best pump in the market. And I use that coupon code, and that really helps me out. And there you go. Question is answered. So no more ambiguity. There you go. So anyways, make sure you check out the pumping guide, which is here if you want to learn more about pumping. Because again, remember, extenders give you length. They won't really give you girth. If you want girth, you need to be pumping. Okay. And check out this other playlist, which has all the videos about PE that you're going to want to see, so that you can basically plug into the matrix and learn everything about PE. So with that being said, again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Peace.